At the end of the afternoon of day 82 of From Here to Jerusalem, I find myself in the Jan Pieter Heijenstraat, not far from where I grew up, to go and have an ice cream with my friend Faye. I had spent the morning fretting about going to the St. Vincentius Church, which is a church which doesn't exist anymore. Like there is a little church there, but it is not in the building that was there. And I was baptized there in 1981. So here I am on my way to Vincentius, and I'm thinking, why do I really want to go there? I arrive at the appointed time, just a little bit late, and there is a priest there who started as a monk, and he takes care of this space. They tore down the church in 1989. I was baptized there in 1981. I remember it as a Gothic, dark building with lots of stained glass, and it made a big impression on me. The smell, a little bit musty, but I don't really know that much about it because I'm just a kid, right? So here I am, I walk into the space, and there's all these little bits that are really familiar, like the 12 stations. There's little carts or little framed carts hanging on the 12 stations around the room, and they are the paintings that used to hang in the church itself. I remember it as being decorated quite heavily. It was a neo-Gothic church, I believe. And then there is this painting which was made after the war by this icon painter, which had been promised to St. Vincentius or to the church or the community, that if the parishioners of that parish would, make it safely to the end of the war, this would be dedicated to them. And that was there as well. So I'm standing there with the harp, and this poor man, he doesn't know what to do with me. And we're talking, and he is telling me stories of bits that are still there and the history of the building, and he's telling me tiny little bits about himself, but we're not really connecting until he says, Saint Benoit de Lava. Oh my gosh, remember him? We met him on the way to Rome. He comes from a tiny place called Amet, and I went to visit his chapel in Rome afterwards. He's the patron saint of hobos, addicts, people in psychological distress, hobos, pilgrims, and wayfarers. My favorite saint. And he has a special dedication to him. So there is a bit where we connect. But as I'm talking to him, I don't know, I know I have to go again. Maybe this was my home a long time ago, right there in Oud West, but now ice cream it is. I have 4 flavors: melon, watermelon, lemon, and fruits of the forest. Then it's time to go and meet my cousin Michael on the other side of Out West. It's a bit of a walk again, but the weather is nice, the breeze is cool, I have enough time so I can take in the scenery, sit around a little bit, take it all in. Yeah, cousin Michael. I haven't seen cousin Michael in a while. I haven't seen cousin Michael in a long while. In fact, I don't know cousin Michael very well. He is the son of my father's brother. We're not very close on that side of the family. But turns out cousin Michael and myself can have a really good time. We had great chats. It was actually lovely to connect with him. And the beer was good. The food was great. The location was very good. It was very pleasant. Marcel came to pick me up, and he said, let's go for a meal, like a meal, a special meal, like a proper meal, because you're leaving tomorrow again. So off we go toward the house, and as we head toward the restaurant, we pass by the graveyard where my friend Steph Pisani is buried. I don't know. He died too young, for sure. He was 26 when he decided he did not want to do this anymore. And here I am, all those years later, look where we're going. Our dinner is in an industrial building which is part of the gas works, or the former gas works in Amsterdam. The menu looks amazing. It's all French. It goes from steak frite to fruits de mer. We get a table outside and there's a great buzz. I'm really gonna enjoy this. Thank you, Marcel. There's a bottle of Gewürztraminer, and then we get scallops to start with, and then there is this: oysters, cockles, mussels, gambas, snow crab. Oh, it's so good. And I eat and I eat, and we eat some more, and we finish up the bottle, and then to finish off, apple pie. Hello, hello! After 10 days rest in Holland, it is time to move on. We are walking again. Sean the Harp, Jerry the Stick, from here to Jerusalem, day 83. Walking again. Today's goal is to get out of the city. We entered via the west. We want to leave via the east. We've been staying in the west, so in order to get to the east, we need to cross through the old city centre. We make our way to the Willemstraat. There is a lovely spot where they do really good sandwiches with kalfsleverworst. Marcel asks me if I want one, and I forget I can't really eat when I walk, and I say yes. So as we wind our way through smaller and smaller streets towards the centre, I'm holding on to my sandwich with kalfsleverworst in the hope that I can find somewhere to sit. There's nothing in the shadow. Nowhere. That is until the new market. So we're on our way to walk out of Amsterdam, and it is day 83 of From Here to Jerusalem, and because I think I can't understand them, they're going to be very loud. So today is day 83 of From Here to Jerusalem, and we're stopped in Newmarket to have something to drink. It's a nice and warm day. I think that tomorrow we might not be walking. Anyway, this is Holland for you. Newmarket.
die te Amsterdam zei Jeruzalem en naar Jeruzalem gedreven kwam, zegt met mijmerende stem: Amsterdam, Amsterdam.
This is the waymarker to het Westerborgpad. Het Westerborgpad is a waymarked route that runs from Amsterdam to Westerbork. Westerbork is the place where they brought Anne Frank after they raided that Achterhuis at the winter of 45. Along the way here, we have stopped at the Neomarkt for something to drink, and I noticed how busy it was and how small the space is that people have here, and how much of an imprint that makes on the way that they behave. Then we walked on to a Waterloopplein, and I finally got a replacement for those bags that I've been looking for. The waymarkers we find at the start of the Jewish quarter, which we cross with artists on our left-hand side, the zoo, and then we end up in front of a museum at the end of there. And there we turn left and we head for Zeeburg. Zeeburg is where all the history is from. I remember walking here every Sunday on my way to Granny, because that's what you did. You went to Granny. Oh, look, that's where I learned about folk dance. We went there every week and danced. Well, mostly I think Eastern European dances. I wouldn't remember any of them if you asked me now. And here we go. Here it is. This is where, my father grew up. My brother was born. My granny lived, my auntie lived, my great auntie lived. This is where the history all was. This is the church where my grandmother got married and all my aunties and uncles were baptized. Yeah, the Zeeburger Dijk. And just right from there is where my great aunt lived. But now it's time to move on. It's time to walk. Oh, look! Finally, those renovations. My dad thought that he would still live while they were going on. It's time to say goodbye. At the Flevolbad, we will climb over the bridge and head into the north of Amsterdam. There's one more bit of history I want to look at, but then I will leave all of this behind till the end of this journey. After a break and watering, hiding in the shade, we set off again. Without a doubt, we have now left the city. Well, not the city, but we've definitely left the city centre. There is water, there is endless views, large trees, boats. The sky is blue, the clouds are big, the grass is green, and the roads have turned uneven. We walk over a dike. I should have memories of the dikes around here. I do have memories of the dikes around here, on the back of a bicycle, my father, going on forever through the cold with the wind. Most of all, I remember the wind. But today the sun shines. No, you could say the sun blazes, and we walk through the Dimmer Park, and there's all these flowers, and it smells all dry, and there's loads of little flies, and there's yellow, and there's purple, and we walk. And I don't have the same memories of the dikes as they seem to be looking now. It's all different. It's not the world that I remember. And as we go on, we come into the area which would have been Battery 64, or Dimmer Dummer Fort. This is where we decide that we will end for today, because when I start walking again, there is something I want to see and visit. But for now, we turn left and we head over the bridge to Aberg. Aberg did not exist when I was a child. There was water here. Water, endless water, dikes and water. Now there's water and traffic and houses and offices, and there's even places where you can sit and eat in something that looks like a marina, and we have beers and we have something to eat.